Hi, this is Elliot Eisenberg of Graphs and Laughs, catching you up to date on the latest multiple listing service data for Hillsborough County. And the data continues to show that Hillsborough County is strong, very strong. Single family sales price, median sale price set an all-time record, and the multifamily price came within a couple $1,000s of setting an all-time record and broke the previous April high record. So house prices are very high. What's the problem? Not a lot of sales and not a lot of pending sales is the problem. And why is that? Because there's no inventory. There's very little new listings and very little total inventory out there. You remain inventory starved, just like you were way back when last year and the early parts of this year before coronavirus came. Back then, people didn't want to list because they didn't know where they were going to move and find a place. Now the problem is those problems superimposed on coronavirus problems, where people don't want to list because they don't want strangers coming in their house. Buyers don't want to look because they don't want to touch something and get coronavirus. So you've got all this touchy-feely problem, if you will, right? That's what's going on there. But your market is fundamentally strong and growing at house price appreciation rates much faster than the national average, which is about 3 or 4% depending on how you measure. So you're starved and that continues, but you're doing very well right now. How about the national housing market? Magically, somehow almost, it's as if coronavirus never really affected the housing market. It's really interesting. On the new home sales side, new home sales bottomed out in March. They went up slightly in April and will continue to go up as we go forward. There's a real strong demand for new homes. They're clean, they're empty, they're easily seen, right? They're a little bigger, they're a little out of town. There's space for Junior to study, there's space for me or my wife or something to have a home office. There's a place for a gymnasium downstairs. Those are all strong reasons for appealing for new home sales. And existing home sales are now already revving up. They bottomed out in early April and they've been improving. The problem is we know that sales in April cover contracts signed in February and March. So it's going to take us a while to get rid of the bad March and the bad April and some of the early parts of bad May. So it may take us through the June sales cycle to get rid of the data. So we may not see new home sales take off until July comes. But we know that the worst is already well behind us. So this is a pretty strong market. Now, the important thing to remember here is, unlike prior recessions where housing has often led us out of recession, that wasn't true the last time, but it was in almost all prior recessions, housing this time will not help get us out of recession. It will do well for itself, and that's good and that's important, but it will not be a leading indicator of getting us out of the recession. The recession is going to be determined very much by health issues, by how confident we feel and safe we feel doing things, and whether coronavirus comes back in summer because of poor social distancing, or in the fall because of flu season, or if Congress does something stupid. But assuming those things don't happen, the economy does improve as time goes on, but it will not unfortunately be led by housing, because housing is doing really, really well. That's it for now. See you next month.